Hello, friends, and welcome to week 3 of yoga. I'm very excited for this flow today. Hopefully, you are too. And I just want to say congrats for getting those first few classes done. If you have, or if this is your first time joining us, then welcome and thanks for being here. I am here inside the church, and I've got this beautiful painting in the background, and hopefully you have a nice view wherever you're at, wherever your mat is. Maybe you're on a deck or inside your living room or in your kitchen, or maybe there's kids running around or dogs barking or family talking in the background. Wherever you are, I'm glad you're here, and hopefully you've got a nice view out in front of you to focus on as we begin our class. So I just wanted to begin our class today with a verse that all of you probably know. And this verse is from Jesus' Great Commission to his disciples in Matthew 28. Verse 20, he says, "Surely I am with you always, even to the very end of the age." I wanted to begin with this verse because when we practice yoga, we're practicing being present, being still, being focused, we're breathing, we're being intentional with our movement, all of those things. But ultimately, we're practicing presence. I wanted to read this verse because just as we are present to this moment and focusing on that, I also want to focus on how Jesus is present with us. He's with us always, in every moment. And if there's anything that you grasp from practicing yoga with me, I hope it is that Jesus is with you in every moment. Every breath is because of him. Because of God, we are able to live and move and have our being. And so let's just take a moment to give thanks for that today. God, we thank you for your presence here with us. I pray that this next several minutes or hour, whatever it is, I pray that we would be present to you and present to our practice of yoga, this physical movement, and focusing on our breath. Would you help us to be still? And as we quiet our mind and quiet our movement, our doing, I pray that we would be able to focus on being present to you, and giving thanks for yet another day of life. Thank you. We praise you. Even in the midst of the times we're facing, we will praise your name. And in your son's name, Jesus, amen. So just to give a little brief introduction, our class today, we're going to be focusing on strengthening and stretching. So really all yoga classes, we're doing strengthening poses and stretching poses. They're kind of 2 in 1, which is really great. But we're going to be hopefully getting more into the legs and the hips today. So let's go on and get started. Once you have your mat all ready to go, bring your palms out. Press your palms down and bring them about shoulder width apart. Bring your knees out wide and your big toes together. Reach your hips back for child's pose. So we're reaching our hips back toward the heels. Maybe you bring your forehead to the mat and just kind of rest here. You might feel a lot of tension in the hips, which is totally normal. We're really stretching here. And just take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale. Just take a few moments here to begin to focus on your breath. Take 3 more deep breaths. And on your next inhale, begin to come up onto your hands and knees for tabletop. Our fingers spread wide, pressing down into the mat, and our hips stack over the knees. You can keep your toes tucked here or just press the tops of the feet down, whatever feels better. Go ahead and start to engage the core and just allow the spine to be nice and straight here. So we're reaching the crown of the head forward towards the front of the room. Take a breath in and a breath out. This is our neutral spine position. Really press the fingers down as you inhale. Drop the belly, gaze up for cow pose. Allow the shoulder blades to squeeze together. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, start to round the spine for cat pose, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round, spread through the shoulder blades. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. 3 more with your breath. And walk your palms about an inch or 2 forward, tuck your toes, and lift the hips up for a downward facing dog. Our first downward dog of the day. So go ahead and make any movement here just to stretch into the hamstrings. Maybe you're feeling a little bit tight. We like to call this walking our dog. Kind of funny, but we're basically just bending the knees side to side, letting the head relax, and really just engage the core here. Reach the arms forward, keep the palms planted, but actively reach the arms as the shoulders roll down the back. Breathing. And then find stillness in the legs here. Take a breath in through your nose, big breath. And exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. As you inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. Maybe have the foot flexed. Reaching through the heel, take another breath in. As you exhale, bend the knee and maybe just let the foot hang out. We're trying to stack the right hip over the left, but try to keep both of your shoulders squared forward. So we're reaching the knee high, but also keeping the arms down, the chest squared to the mat. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, release down. Switching over to the other side, inhale, left leg reaches, flex your foot, keep the leg active, breathe in. And exhale, bend the knee and stack the hip. Take one more breath in and exhale, release down. Breathe in, breathe out. As you inhale, come forward, bringing your shoulders stacked over the wrists for high plank. Hold here, breathe in, engage the core, strengthen those arms, breathe out. Breathe in, exhale, downward dog. As you inhale, come forward, high plank, and exhale, down dog. Last time, inhale, come forward, hold here. One more breath in, and exhale, downward dog. Breathe in, breathe back out. As you inhale, look forward and just bring your feet about halfway to your hands, and then bring your hands to your feet. Maybe have your feet about hip width apart or more. And just finding ragdoll pose here. So our arms hang heavy. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and just rock side to side.
relaxing the head and the chest, keeping the knees bent. One more breath in. And release the hands down, heel toe the feet a little closer together. As you inhale, come up halfway, maybe bring your hands to your shins, creating a flat surface on top of the back. Take one more breath in, and exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, reach high to the sky, ground the feet down, palms come to touch. Mountain pose. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, just rest the hands down by the sides. Inhale, reach high. And exhale, open the arms out to the sides. Bend at the hips for forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step the feet back, downward facing dog. If ever downward dog is a little bit too much, feel free to drop down just to tabletop as a transition, or you're always welcome to find child's pose to take a moment of rest. But meeting back in downward dog, breathe in, look forward. As you exhale, walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up for mountain pose. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open the arms, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in. Plant your palms, step your feet back to tabletop or downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top. Bringing your hands toward your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Ground the feet down, rise up to mountain pose. Exhale, hands by your sides. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale, fold on the exhale. Plant your palms, and you might want to bring your right foot a little bit more forward towards the top of your mat, and then reach your left leg back and lower the knee down. Bring your front knee, make sure it's stacked over the ankle. As you inhale, reach the arms high for crescent moon. Maybe you're familiar with this pose now, as I think I've done it in the last two classes, but our hips are reaching forward, our shoulders are stacked over the hips, core is engaged, feeling a nice stretch here in the hip flexor. You're always welcome to bring your hands to your heart to give the arms a little bit of a break. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach the arms high, inhale, exhale, find a twist. Right arm reaches toward the back of the room as the left arm comes forward. Breathe in. As you exhale, drop the left hand down to the mat, and you can either reach the right arm to the sky to find a twist here, or you can reach for that back foot to stretch into our left quad. So this is definitely a harder option, but maybe you want to try it, or maybe you just want to kind of have a fun laugh and see if you can reach your foot, or just for fun. Take one more breath in. Exhale, maybe release that foot back down. And we're gonna lift the back knee off the mat and heel toe the right leg out towards the edge of the mat. Left palm presses down, lift the right arm high to the sky. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, lower the right hand down on the inside of the right foot and drop the left knee down, coming to our lizard lunge. So here you can stay on the palms, Or if you'd like to maybe lower down further onto the elbows, finding that sweet spot and holding here for the next couple breaths. Take another breath in and another breath out. Now, just for fun, to try to just see if you can go for it, we're gonna press into the palms and our back knee's gonna lift, and see if you can either step your left foot forward all the way to the outer edge of the mat. Both of your feet are on the outer edges of your mat. And then we're gonna drop down to a low yoga squat here. So our toes are pointing outward, our elbows maybe come on the inside of the thighs, pressing the palms together. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. And exhale, plant the palms and reach the hips up, heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in. As you inhale, plant the palms and the right foot's gonna step back for a low lunge. Drop the right knee down. As you inhale, reaching up for crescent moon. Our arms are reaching high, hips coming forward. Or again, you can always bring your hands to your heart. Remembering to engage the core here. Maybe you try closing your eyes for an extra challenge to stay balanced. Take another breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, find that twist. Left arm goes toward the back, right arm towards the front. And maybe you gaze toward the back of the room. Take another breath in. And exhale, right hand plants down by the foot and reach the left arm either high up to the sky, or if you want to try to see if you can reach that foot. And maybe this side's a little bit harder than the other to reach the foot. Or if you can't reach the foot at all, that is no problem. Maybe just try lifting that back foot slightly off the mat. Or maybe a little bit more. Again, we're always being gracious with ourselves. I know that's very hard, but maybe this is something that's still new for you. So just give yourself time. Go ahead and release the foot, reaching the left arm high, and then lift the back knee off the mat and heel toe the left foot out to the side. Take another breath in, reach that left arm high, and exhale, lower it down on the inside of the foot for our lizard lunge. Our right knee drops down. And again, maybe you stay lifted upon the palms, or maybe you lower down onto the forearms, whatever feels better. Finding a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, lift the back knee off the mat and see if you can hop that right foot forward and out to the side for our squat. I'll go ahead and face you. So our elbows come on the inside of the thighs, pressing into them. Maybe your heels don't quite press into the mat, that's okay. Just try to hold here, keeping balance. Take a breath in
And a breath out. One more inhale. And exhale, plant the palms and step the feet back to downward facing dog. Hold here for 2 breaths. As you inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest and step the foot in between the hands. Our back foot is going to come forward just enough to press the heel down into the mat. So our toes are actually going to point towards the left corner of the mat. It's going to be at a slight angle here. As you inhale, reach the arms high for warrior 1. Our front knee is stacked over the ankle. We're keeping it bent. I'm trying to keep my balance. So our front knee is stacked over the ankle and our back heel is pressing down into the mat. Both of our hips are squared forward. Maybe you keep your hands at your heart or reach them high. And take another breath in. And exhale, lower down, step the feet back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest and step the foot in between the hands. Bring that right foot up just enough to seal the heel down. And this time the right toes are pointed toward the right top corner of the mat. As you inhale, use the core, nice and strong, rising up for warrior 1. Our front knee is stacked over the heel. Both of our hips are squared forward. And we're kind of coming a little bit forward here. We want to just make sure though that your knee isn't shooting too far forward. You want to keep it nice and stacked. So if you need to widen your stance, maybe that would help. One more breath in. And exhale, lower the hands down, step the feet back for child's pose. Knees come out to these sides of the mat, and the hips reach toward the heels. On your next inhale, press into the palms, lift the hips high for downward dog. As you inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, step in between the hands. This time we're going to drop the back heel down so that the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Using our core, lift up, arms sweep for warrior 2. Our front knee is stacked over the heel and we're reaching the knee forward. We're bending into the knee. And this back foot, we're pressing down on the knife edge of the back of the foot, gripping the toes to the mat, and keep your gaze forward over those right fingers. Relax the shoulders, tighten the core. Hold here, 2 breaths. Take another breath in. As you exhale, lower the right elbow down to the thigh, reach the left arm high. Extended side angle, looking up to the sky. Breathe in, breathe out. As you inhale, use the core, sweep the right arm high to the sky, reverse the warrior. So we're reaching our arm back, feeling a nice stretch here. Try to keep that front knee nice and bent. Hold here, 1 more breath in, and exhale, come back to warrior 2. As you inhale, straighten out the right leg. Maybe walk that left foot in a little bit closer. Start to reach the right arm forward, keeping the right leg straight. Reaching, 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 and then lower the right hand down to the shin, and the left arm comes up for triangle pose. Both of our shoulders are stacked here, gazing up toward the sky. Feeling a stretch here in the back And the side body, take another breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. And exhale, lower the hand down, plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Seal that back heel down so that the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. As you inhale, use your core, reach up. Warrior two. Gaze over the front fingertips, bend into that front knee. And just take a moment to look down and make sure you can see your big toe. Sometimes our front knee wants to go inward, so we just want to keep it out, so just enough to see our big toe. Feeling that stretch in the hips, take a breath in and back out. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Exhale, left elbow lowers down to the thigh. Reach the right arm high. Extended side angle. Feeling that stretch in the side body. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm comes up, right arm goes back. Keep that bend in the front knee. 1 more inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten out the left leg. Maybe walk that right foot in a little bit closer. And this time we're gonna reach the left arm forward and then lower it down for triangle pose. Gazing up toward the sky. Feeling that nice stretch in the low back. 1 more breath in. And exhale, lower the palms down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes high. Exhale, step through. This time we're just gonna come all the way up to a high lunge, just for a sec, and then bring the feet both pointing towards the corners of the mat. And we're just gonna bend the knees here to find a wide squat here. Maybe bring your hands to your thighs and just maybe rock side to side. Feeling the stretch in the hips. And then as you inhale, we're gonna drop the right shoulder down and then the left. And just switching back and forth. And then come back to center. And then we're gonna straighten the legs and point the toes forward. Keep your arms out to the sides, take a breath in, and start to hinge forward at the hips, finding a wide forward fold. Maybe your fingers come out towards your feet, or maybe they just rest here on the mat. This will just determine, it'll depend upon your flexibility. So maybe your feet come closer together, or maybe you want to make them farther apart. Just finding a comfortable spot here. Maybe walk the palms over toward the right foot. And then maybe over to the left. Coming back to center. And bring your fingertips toward your low back and interlace your fingers. And then reach the palms toward the sky. Feeling a good shoulder stretch. 1 more breath in. And exhale, release the palms down toward the mat. Walk your palms toward your right foot. And step the right foot back for downward dog.
As you inhale, reach the right leg high. As you exhale, draw the right knee toward the right elbow and the left, or the ankle toward the left wrist. Lower that leg down and reach the left leg further back. Maybe walk your palms back toward your hips, setting up here for our pigeon pose. So our front leg is parallel to the mat. Maybe you bring your hands toward your hips, or if you'd like to maybe walk your palms down, lowering onto your forearms. Or maybe you lower down even further. Just finding whatever variation works for you. And then gently start to press into the palms. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, and then lift your right leg off the mat. Maybe shake it out if you need to. And then we'll switch over to the other side. So our left knee comes toward the left elbow and the ankle toward the right wrist. Lower that leg down and then reach the right leg back behind you. Walk the palms up toward the hips, allowing the hips to just melt toward the mat. And then whenever you're ready, lower down, either onto your palms, your forearms, or maybe down onto your chest, whatever feels best. As we stretch, the goal is just to be still. I know that can be very challenging. We're seeking to just be still in the midst of the discomfort or the tension. Finding that stillness and surrender. And on your next inhale breath, walk the palms up. And this time just roll onto the left hip and swing the right leg forward, coming up onto your hips. And we're gonna gently lift the heels off the mat for boat pose. So our legs are hovering, our core is nice and engaged here. You can either keep your hands on the sides of your thighs or maybe rest them back behind you, or bring them out, whatever works. And we're gonna hold here for a few breaths, embracing the shakes. One more deep breath in, and exhale, slowly lower down. Coming down onto your back.
with your feet planted. Reach your right leg high to the sky and interlace your fingers behind the thigh and just start to draw the knee in toward the chest. Flex your foot, feeling that stretch in the hamstring, and just allowing the hips to rest in the mat. Maybe you walk your hands around the shin or the calf or the ankle or the toes, whatever feels best. Again, being gracious with ourselves and enjoying the process of growth, not rushing. Take one more inhale and exhale. Lower the leg down, switching over to the other side. Interlacing the fingers behind the thigh or the calf. Continuing to allow the hips to rest. And one more breath in. And exhale, release it down. Bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide for a supine butterfly. Our shoulders rest down the mat, relaxing the feet, and the legs and the hips, the shoulders and the head, the arms. Just completely letting go and being still. For some of us, being still can be easier than others, but just try to be present here. Whenever you're ready, just extend the legs out for our final resting pose. Being completely still and relaxed. And as you're lying completely still in our final resting pose, I'd like to read a meditation from a book that I just started. It's a 40 Days with the Lord's Prayer. It's called May It Be So. I thought this meditation would be encouraging, hopefully, to someone today, as it's been something that has been encouraging to me. I know in the season that we are facing, we're not able to be around people as much as maybe we would like to. And so just let these words bless you today. Our Father in heaven. The first time I saw a therapist, I parked in the lot adjacent to the therapist's office and walked toward the entrance with my sweatshirt hood pulled up, covering my head and part of my face. I took the stairs instead of the elevator and walked quickly through the hall to the office door. The way I generally heard it talked about, therapy was something only frail and lost people needed. I didn't want to consider myself broken or weak. Perhaps more to the point, I didn't want others to see me that way. Closing the door behind me, I pulled my hood back down to find that I'd joined 4 other people in the waiting room. The gray-haired woman to my right looked up from her magazine, smiled, and removed her bag from the chair next to her. She gestured to the now open seat. "You can sit here." In other words, "You are welcome here. We'll make room for you." By the time I actually sat on the couch to talk with the therapist, the knots my soul had been in were already coming undone. I spent most of that session actively and finally confronting lies in myself about being too strong to be weak and too needed by others to have needs of my own, and about how not having my life together meant losing my place in line. This work didn't just start when I sat across from the therapist. It started when I was invited to take a seat among the people in the waiting room and began to believe, I am welcome here. They've made room for me. I am often compelled to pray because circumstances have convinced me that I am alone in my struggle and that the only honorable way to move ahead is to do so alone. These trials are mine. These burdens are mine. These fears are mine. I have them, and they have me. These lies begin to unravel with the words, Our Father. I am invited to see myself as part of the family of God, which means I can choose to see the burdens I carry as burdens also carried by others to whom I belong. Sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, neighbors. When I pray, Our Father, I join countless family members who share the same entanglements, frustrations, joys, dreams, and hopes that often lead me to pray. I am not alone. Neither are you. You can sit here too. Please do. And even if you parked across the street and walked with your head down and your face covered because you weren't sure you wanted a place among people who do this kind of religious thing, know that you are welcome here. You have a place. We'll make room for you. As we pause and reflect on these words, I'll lead us through the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Pause here to consider your place in the family of God and the people who share space with you in this family. What faces and names come to mind? Also consider those for whom having a space here might be foreign or even distasteful. How might they feel more welcome? What did you need when maybe you were in their shoes? The word our is not just a plural pronoun, it's a plural possessive, which is to say, just as I share these burdens and trials with you, I also share and even possess a place with you in the one who lifts burdens and who triumphs over trials. In this season, maybe you're battling with loneliness or feeling alone in your burdens, the trials, and maybe in your life, the difficulties. But I want to encourage you today that you are not alone. Jesus is with you. He says, surely I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. And you also have access to God's family. You're a part of God's family. We are with you, even if it's virtual. You are loved. You are not alone. Begin to bring movement back into your fingers and toes. Maybe circle your wrists and your ankles. Maybe reach your arms up high for a full body stretch. Reaching high. And then when you're ready, roll onto your side in a fetal position. Just taking a moment to pause and to give thanks for our class today, to thank God for his presence with us and the time we've had. And when you're ready, press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe reaching your arms out as a posture of praise and thanksgiving. Let's take a breath in together and a breath out. God, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for this class. Thank you for the ability to move. Thank you for the truth of knowing that we are not alone, but that you are always with us. May each of us be encouraged today by your presence and knowing that there are so many people out there that care for us. We're together. We're in this together. We're not alone. We praise you and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. And blessings to you. Have a wonderful day. Grace and peace.